Hey travelers, it's Nancy from New Travel Escapes. Today we're diving into the culinary delights of Grand Palladium White Sand Resort, a family-friendly gem nestled in Mexico's Riviera Maya. When you book an all-inclusive resort like White Sand, you're prepaying for your food and drinks, so knowing what to expect in terms of quality and variety is more important than ever. That's why we're breaking it all down for you in this video. From a la carte dinners to breakfast buffets, poolside lunches, and crafted cocktails, we're covering it all. So let's explore the restaurants and their flavors to help you decide if Grand Palladium White Sand deserves a spot on your family's vacation shortlist. Before we get started, a quick reminder. We've already done a walkthrough video and a detailed review of our stay at White Sand. If you haven't seen those yet, I suggest checking those out first. In this video, it's all about the food and beverages. The dining options at White Sand are generally a good experience. Plus, you have access to almost all the restaurants at each of the 3 family resorts, giving you a plethora of cuisine options to choose from. You do need to make reservations for your a la carte dinners, and I suggest doing that as early in your trip as you can because they fill up fast. If you're a buffet lover, it's great that you can go to any of the family resort buffets. They're all a little bit different, so if buffets are your thing, you have a lot to choose from. Although you have access to almost all of the family resort restaurants, let's look at the ones located on the White Sand property. Dalia is the buffet, La Lagona is their poolside lunch spot, Portofino is Italian cuisine, La Paisana is Argentinian cuisine, Bahia E Brasa is Brazilian cuisine, and Poseidon is fish and seafood, kind of rice. I'll explain that when we get there. That's beachfront. Let's start with a quick review of the dress codes to help you know what to pack. Breakfast and lunch, well, usually eaten at a buffet, most people wear their bathing suits with either a cover-up or a t-shirt. Sleeveless t-shirts are not allowed for hygienic reasons, and footwear is required, always. At dinner, if you opt for buffets for dinner, shorts and t-shirts are acceptable, but it's less acceptable to wear beachwear. No need for long pants, just a step up from your pool attire. Now your a la carte dinners, for men, long pants, dress shorts, and shirts or t-shirts are okay. For women, shorts and shirts, a nice sundress or capris work really well. Now that you know how to pack, let's move on to the restaurants. Ladellia is the White Sand Resort's main buffet, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We appreciated the variety and freshness of the food, especially for breakfast and lunch. The service was generally decent, on par with other family all-inclusive resort buffets. Ladellia is a bit smaller than the other buffet options within the complex and has fewer options, a little bit, but it was fresh and tasty. This buffet does get busy during prime dining hours. Let's have a good look around the buffet. When you look at the buffet options, it's usually a good indicator of the quality of food that you're going to get at the resort that you've chosen. If you follow a vegetarian or vegan diet, I think you're going to lean more into the buffets at this resort. I'm going to show you all of the menus at the restaurants when we get to them, but I think it would be challenging as a vegetarian to eat here. La Lagona is a poolside lunch buffet spot. It sits right above the swim-up bar. We filmed before it opened, but you can see what it looks like here. Portofino is an a la carte restaurant featuring Italian cuisine. It has a nice salad bar, and it was one of our favorites with dishes like minestrone soup, gnocchi, and lasagna. I wasn't a fan of the pizza. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the pizza across the entire complex. Sometimes the food is inconsistent when the restaurant is busy, but overall, it was good. La Paisana is Argentinian cuisine. La Paisana offers great service and good food. I'm always a fan of that wedge salad, and this is a restaurant where you can choose your protein, from ribeye to pork ribs, even a tuna or salmon steak. And then you choose your favorite sides and sauces. If you have a short trip, this one is not to be missed. Bahia E Brasa is Brazilian rodizio. There's not really a menu. Instead, they keep bringing a variety of meats around to the tables to serve you whatever you may want to try. They have a good salad bar, and this style of dining is fun and engaging. Kids really seem to love it. There's a separate menu for dessert, but everything else is rodizio style, and they carve the meats right onto your plate. Poseidon is their a la carte beachfront restaurant specializing in fish and rice. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fish and rice? What? But have a look at the menu. They have 5 different rice specialties, along with several fish dishes such as classic Ibasa salad with potatoes and tuna, baked cod, fish stew, and octopus. I love the atmosphere of this restaurant, sitting, listening to the waves, and feeling the breeze. Now, I do advise that if the sargassum is heavy during your trip, check on the smell at the water's edge before you book this restaurant, just in case. They usually do a great job cleaning up the seaweed, but if it's particularly heavy, it might bother you during dinner. But otherwise, a great restaurant. The restaurants have a kids menu, but it's exactly the same for all of them. If you have a very picky eater, this might be helpful. If not, you can always take the little ones to the buffet and then enjoy an a la carte later when they're already full. So that pretty much sums up the dining options located right on the White Sands property. But don't forget, you have access to almost all of the restaurants at the other family properties as well. You can make your reservations through the app or through the concierge, and the app will only allow you to book for your specific room and those staying with you in your room. So if there's a group in a couple of rooms, you'll need to make those reservations with the concierge so that they can link them together. You also have the option of 24-hour room service, but at the time of our visit, there was an $18 fee for room service. I can't really tell you how it was because I'm not really into spending that extra money for it. Let's touch on the bars for a quick second. The alcohol at White Sand is mid-tier. The mixology across the board was good. Nothing really fancy, but it was well made for the most part. There's a swim-up bar in the main pool, as well as other poolside bars and poolside servers. The swim-up bar was usually busy, but a fun spot to grab a drink and float around the pool. Each restaurant has its own bar, so if you have a bit of a wait for dinner, you can enjoy a cocktail. Some of the a la carte restaurants have outdoor dining options, and we found out that you can only sit there if you buy a bottle of wine. I thought this was a bit of a money grab, but you do with that information what you will. There's a very nice lobby bar at White Sands. It's really the hub of the resort where you can get together before or after dinner, enjoy a cocktail, and there's often live music there. The included wines of the resort were decent. There's 2 whites and 2 reds. I believe they were a Chardonnay and a Sauvignon Blanc, and then a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Merlot. There might be a rosé. I'm not a rosé person, so I didn't try it, but I'm pretty sure there was a rosé, and there's almost always sparkling wine. And of course, they can make most of the cocktails that you can dream up. So that's the full plate, literally, of restaurants and bars at Grand Palladium White Sand. Overall, the food here ranges from good to very good, with plenty of variety to keep things interesting. Like many all-inclusive resorts, consistency can sometimes be a moving target. What's great one night might be just okay the next, but hey, that's the beauty of an all-inclusive. If something doesn't quite hit the spot, you're one menu away from a do-over. No harm, no charge, no regrets. Between the beachfront seafood, the Brazilian tableside carving, poolside buffets, and Italian comfort food, there's something for every kind of traveler, whether you're a foodie, a picky eater, or just here for the mojitos and a good time. Add in the laid-back dress codes, the casual vibe, and the ability to access restaurants across the neighboring resorts, and it's easy to see how White Sand can feed both your family and your vacation soul. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It's free, and it helps support our 100% independent, self-funded, promotion-free travel channel. If you'd like to book your vacation, use the links in the description. They don't cost you anything extra, but they do help us keep making honest and unbiased resort reviews. We've got restaurant review videos coming up for each of the resorts within this complex, so be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. We will also show you which suites might be worth your money and which ones to be aware of. Have you stayed at White Sand or any of the other Grand Palladium properties? Share your favorite restaurant or dish in the comments below. We'd love to hear from fellow travelers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next escape. Bye, everybody.